Hi, I'm Precious and you're welcome to my kitchen. In this episode of Precious Kitchen, I'm going to be showing you guys how I make Poulet DG. Poulet DG is a Cameroonian meal that is so delicious. It is the perfect combination of chicken and plantains. So I'll show you what we need and then we can get started with the cooking. So you'll need 4 ripe plantains. These plantains are not too ripe, which are really ideal for Poulet DG, because if they are too ripe they're going to get soft and mushy and we do not want that. And you could also use unripe plantains if you're not for ripe plantains. Okay, right here I have bell peppers. Now you just need 1 whole large bell pepper in this recipe, but I have all this for you because I'm going to be using 1/4 of each. I just want that mix of colors, but if you don't have the colors, just use 1 big green bell pepper. It will work just as well. So I have 1 whole chicken here, 1 little whole chicken, 2 medium carrots, a handful of green beans, about 8 stems of cilantro. You could use parsley in place of cilantro. I also have some green onions here. These are 3 stems of green onions, about 1 stem of celery that has been chopped, about 1 inch of ginger root that has been peeled and chopped, about 8 cloves of garlic, 8 medium tomatoes, 1 large onion. I'll actually be using half of that onion, about 2 cups of vegetable oil, salt, white pepper, and of course some seasoning cubes, what we call Maggi. So let's get started with the cooking. Okay guys, the very first thing you want to do is prepare the marinade for that chicken. I love marinades because they put the sea in the chicken, you know. Without the marinade, the chicken will be lifeless. So I love making a good marinade for whatever meat or fish I'm dealing with. So in goes my ginger, my garlic right into my blender, and then my chopped celery, and I'm just going to roughly chop the cilantro and dump it in there. So I have my ginger, garlic, celery and cilantro in my blender. I'll just add a little bit of onions because I want that chicken to be oniony. So that's the quantity of onion. I'm just rough chopping it. In it goes, and then I'll put in some water, about half a cup of water, and I'll blend this baby. My marinade is all ready. It looks amazing. I don't know, I just like food. Even marinade looks amazing to me. So I'm just going to prep up this chicken. So my chicken is all curried, so it's time to put it into the pot and cook it together with that awesome marinade. Okay guys, my chicken is in the pot and it's on medium high. So I'm just going to add just about a cup of water because I don't want to make it too watery. I want little water so the taste is quite concentrated on the chicken. So I'm just adding about 3/4 of my marinade. I'll keep the other 1/4 to use when I'm making the DG final. And then, what did I say, DG final? Oh my goodness. Some Maggi. I'm using 2 for the chicken. Seasoning cubes. We just like using these in our meals. And then the love of my life, white pepper. When it comes to seasoning, this is like my thing. So I'm just putting in a good helping of white pepper. This is like about half a teaspoon of freshly ground white pepper, and then some salt, of course. So I'll stir this so that the spice goes like all around the chicken. This is just super flavorful, and you can marinate your chicken like this to use it for anything, rice, stew, or if you just want some chicken on the side to enjoy with any meal you're having. This is just the perfect marinade for your chicken. Look at that. I like the proportion of water to chicken. So I'll cover this and let it cook together for 20 minutes. Alright guys, my chicken is cooking. While it is cooking, I'm going to start up with my plantains. So these are plantains, not bananas, for some people that get confused. Sometimes when I'm buying plantains at the grocery store here, they keep asking if it's banana. It's plantains. We eat it a lot in Africa. So this is how you open up a plantain, for the benefit of those who do not know. If you're from Cameroon, Nigeria, Ghana, Africa, you already know that. So I just run my knife from the top to the bottom, and then I keep my knife and I use my hand to just peel it. Just take the peeling from the treasure inside, and that's it, how you peel a plantain. So I'm going to fry these plantains. First I want to heat up my oil. So while my oil is heating up, I'll be peeling and cutting the plantains. So here's a little thing about Poulet DG. Poulet DG means chicken managing director. Poulet is French for chicken, and DG is Director General, which means in English managing director, or the CEO, or the Oga, or the boss at the top. So this is a meal that was made for special people in Cameroon, because it is just so special, so good. But you know, we are all special, right? So you can make this right in your kitchen. So let's move on to those plantains. Any shape you like. So look at that. That's what it looks like. I love it. You know, food has to be visually appealing, right? Okay guys, my oil has been heating up for about 7 minutes on medium high, and my plantains are all cut up. So I'm just going to put the plantains into the oil. Someone said one of the greatest moments in history was when a ripe plantain touched hot oil, and I totally agree. Oh my god, fried ripe plantains, they are the truth. So good. I could totally live on them. So I'm just going to put about half of the plantains and let them cook. When they are nice and golden brown, I'll take them out and put the other half. You don't want to overcrowd the pan with so many plantains at once. The plantain is frying, chicken on the fire. Now it's time for me to start chopping my vegetables. Making Poulet DG is all about multitasking, you know. So when one thing is cooking, you go ahead and you prep the other ingredients. So I'll just chop up my onions and my tomatoes and all those other lovely vegetables that we'll be putting in there, the carrots and the bell peppers. Oh my god, can you guys see my onion cutting game? I think I'm improving now. Okay guys, my plantains are all nice and brown, ready to take off. Oh my god. Now my second batch will go right in there. So my chicken has been cooking for 20 minutes. This is what it looks like. It's pretty much cooked right here, but this is not the way the chicken will go right into our Poulet DG. I'm going to put it into the oven for some browning, for some color and more flavor. When it stays in the oven, it's going to develop that nice golden color on the outside, and it will be much more flavorful than it is right now. So, and then all of that stock, look at that, is going to get into the Poulet DG too. So I really like having some nice homemade chicken stock to go in with that. So I'll show you when I put it on the tray to put into the oven. So that goes into my oven. Okay guys, my plantains are all fried. The chicken is in the oven. Now I let the oil cool down just for a few minutes, and I'm just going to reduce it because we do not need all that oil for our DG. So I'm taking out about half of the oil. So I'll turn on the heat to medium high. When it heats up, I'm going to saute the onions and then the tomatoes, which I've chopped. I've roughly chopped them. I'm going to just blend them a little bit because I don't want the tomatoes to be a smooth paste. So I'm just going to lightly blend them, and you see what they look like when I put them into the sauteed onions. Okay, now it's time for the DG to come together. Onions into hot oil, saute. C'est bon. Now that the onions are sauteed, I'm just going to put in the roughly blended tomatoes. And I'll let that cook until the acidity in the tomatoes is reduced. That means it no longer tastes sour. The tomatoes are cooking. So while that's happening, I'm just going to chop off all the other vegetables. So I'm just cutting off about a quarter of each of the bell peppers, and the leftover bell peppers, you could use that to make delicious stir fry. You could check my blogpressurescore.com for recipe ideas for your stir fry. I tell you, you're going to enjoy it. Okay, so I have a quarter of each curd. I'm going to slice that in a bit, but I'll just like to start with my carrot, and I'm using my Kringle knife. I'm cutting my carrot in circles just so that it has some symmetry with the plantains. So I'm just finishing up cutting my bell pepper. Okay, my tomatoes are all ready. So you can see they've shrunk greatly and they no longer taste sour. So I'm going to put in the rest of my marinade. If you remember the marinade we used on the chicken, I kept a little bit for eventually for the DG proper. So just putting marinade in oil, in hot oil that's cooking anything like tomatoes, it makes it so flavorful, you know. So I'm just going to let that sit in there for about 2 minutes to bring out all the flavors. Okay guys, right now I'm putting in my chicken stock, all of that chicken stock. Then I'll give that a good stir. And then my cubes, my stock cubes. And then some more white pepper because this thing is just so good. About a quarter teaspoon of white pepper. A teeny bit of salt because this whole thing is already salted with, you know. Since we're adding more ingredients that are not salted, I want the salt to balance beautifully. So I'll just add the chicken so that all those flavors can rest on the chicken one more time before the other ingredients come in. I'll put in the plantains. And then I'll put in all those vegetables now. Starting with the green onions. And green beans. And all the bell peppers. So guys, let's give that a good stir until everything is well incorporated. Okay guys, I've mixed it all up and I just let the vegetables, once I put in the vegetables, I only let them stay on the fire for about 2 minutes because I love my vegetables crisp and fresh. That way they are still very nutritious. The nutrients have not been cooked out. So really, that's how you make Poulet DG. Easy, right? So let's go to the test because you know I love that part. That chicken, those plantains, the vegetables on top. Just make sure I get some sauce on it. Yum. It smells amazing. Can't wait. And I have my drink waiting because, you know, this just has to go with a drink. I can't just eat it like that. Grab some of that. Those carrots. You guys, this is bomb.com. It is so good. The taste of the fried plantain together with all that spices, the marinade, with that well marinated chicken, with the crispiness of the vegetables, that's just like a party in my mouth. You really have to try this. As you can see, there's no fuss. It's so easy to make. And if everything was so overwhelming for you, I have the written recipe step by step on my blog preciouscore.com. I will leave the link in the description box below, so be sure to check that out. And if you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe for more awesome videos like this. Bye bye.